In Chapter 3, Behind the Counter of Fast Food Nation, Schlosser makes three main points throughout the chapter. Schlosser stresses how the food is prepared, lack of quality workers, and worker safety.
Our first area of emphasis in the third chapter focuses on how fast food workers prepare the fast food as opposed to cooking it. They step into a big freezer and get frozen bacon, pancakes, and cinnamon rolls. Then they get frozen hash browns, biscuits, and muffins, Schlosser 68. Our outside source also goes along this line, saying that at casual dining chains like Applebee's, most of the food is mass-produced and frozen, then shipped to the restaurant and stored in walk-in freezers. The food is reheated instead of cooked from scratch. Recipes are developed by corporate chefs right down to the amount of salt used, and any variation can be disastrous. Myers. While restaurants struggle with fast food assembly and preparation, they also have an underlying problem with limited communication between workers.
Schlosser also focuses on the type of workers primarily filling those spots. Many lack communication skills. English is now the second language of at least 1/6 of the nation's restaurant workers, and about 1/3 of those people speak no English at all. Schlosser 71. BLS statistics show that an estimated 1.4 million of restaurant industry workers are foreign-born, working as chefs, dishwashers, busboys, etc. To some, this may not seem significant enough for alarm, as it adds up to about 10% of the restaurant's industry workforce. Lempert. From the lack of quality workers to worker safety in fast food restaurants, there's more than just one problem.
Another topic that Schlosser centered on through the chapter was worker safety. Roughly 4 or 5 fast food workers are now murdered on the job every month, usually during the course of a robbery. Schlosser 83. An outside source states 87% of workers said they've experienced a workplace injury in the past year, and 78% said they have suffered multiple injuries during the same period. Additionally, 79% say they were burned while working within the past year, and 58% said they suffered multiple burns, Hart Research Associates.
After reading the intro in Chapter 3 of Fast Food Nation, we have decided that Schlosser was in fact reliable. From the information we found, a lot of the research corresponded with the information in the book. Compared to the information Schlosser said to what we found, they were very similar in facts. For the majority of the chapter, he solely used facts, rarely using his personal opinion. For example, Schlosser stated in the book, the injury rate of teenage workers in the United States is about twice as high as the adult workers. Teenagers are far more likely to be untrained, and every year about 200,000 are injured on the job. Schlosser 83. This statement, compared to what we found online, which said that 87% of workers said they have experienced a workplace injury in the past year, and 78% said they suffered multiple injuries during the same period. Additionally, 79% said they were burned while working within the past year, and 58% said they had suffered multiple burns. Hart Research Associates. These two pieces of information are very accurate and show how accurate Schlosser was in his book. He is proving to the reader how injuries in a workplace are so frequent and how high the adult and teen rate of injury is in the workplace. Worker safety is a big part of this chapter. His effectiveness is more important to the book.
Throughout Schlosser's entire book, active in this chapter specifically, his tone is everything. He portrays a strongly distrustful description of fast food workers and managers. His accusatory and cautionary attitudes are effective in putting an idea in the reader's head, much like his introduction of lures and important ideas to preview the subjects of his book. He uses many other rhetorical strategies in his writing that are greatly successful in conveying his argument. And although our outside research suggests that his given facts and ideas are highly accurate, his writing in this chapter alone would have been enough for a reader to accept on the subject of untrustworthy fast food workers. This chapter is not strong in a way of creating emotions, but rather with heavy use of facts, statistics, and logos. He uses imagery, picturing the painful routine of the assembly workers take on while preparing our food. While denoting the food workers to be distrustful and unreliable, he is invective, which means he is harsh in denunciation of these people. Overall, Schlosser's book, Fast Food Nation, is effective and reliable in conveying his message about the people handling the most trusted and most eaten food in America.